Hey everybody, my name is Robbie, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my 1968 Mark II Austin Mini. This car has a 1275cc engine with an 1 3/4" HIF SU carburetor. As you can see there, it's got the coil springs. It has sway bar in the front and the back, heavy duty tie rods, and it's got the Admin 032Rs, and they're great for the wet and the dry. These tires are fantastic in the wet. They really work great. Even though they look like slicks, they really hold wonderfully, and the car is very predictable in the rain with these tires. I highly recommend them. And then these are the original Mamba wheels, the vintage racing wheels, and you can tell by the stem being right here instead of out here or on the rim here. I have the little British racing tags right here, just to, for everyone to know that this is actually a little British vintage race car, and it has a lot of racing history on the track and rally circuit. I got the 44 on here because my grandpa was born in 1944, and it's just something to remember him by, because he actually owned this car for about 3 years before I did, and my dad owned it before he did for about 20 years. So this car is very special. Another thing that is pretty special to me on this car is this badge right here. All the silver S. Cooper badges, they say Morris right here, and all the Austin S. Cooper badges are black. But this one is silver and says Austin, so it's very rare. I ordered it from England on eBay, and that's very special to me. Got the license plate as a sticker right here to look like a Goodwood car, because I really like the Goodwood cars. And then I got the hood pins for a little dress up. But something that's interesting about the Mark II is that it's got the door hinges and the sliding windows like the Mark I, but it has a new grille and newer taillights. And this car was only produced for about 2.5 to 3 years. And then they started making the British Leylands, and those had no door hinges and roll-up windows, and from there on, when Rover owned them and another company owned them, between Leyland and Rover, they also had no door hinges and roll-up windows. And also another characteristic you can tell is after Austin and Morris made the Mark I and Mark II, the body kind of changed right here. It has more of a lump right here around the flashers. So that's another way you can also tell. And I believe that the back window is smaller as well on the Mark Is from anything. So the back window is actually a little bit shorter. And then another thing, actually there's one more thing. There's probably a few more things, but the trunk lid right here. This trunk lid is more of a rectangle, and the newer trunk lids, they look really good actually, but they're more up here and can hold this whole license plate frame in the square. So that's another difference. But so the inside, it's got the mirror on the dash, like the old MGs and the Super 7. And it's got a wood dash. My grandpa put this dash plaque on here, and it was also his idea for the mirror. And I did have a Paddy Hopkirk foot pedal, but it came off. I got a Motolita flat steering wheel with a coned boss. I feel like it looks very classy, more than the dish steering wheel. But you know what, I honestly prefer a smaller this is a 14-inch. I definitely prefer a smaller steering wheel for the Mini, because it's more of a go-kart handling style, and and it's fun with your hands closer together rather than your hands further apart. So I recommend a 12-inch steering wheel, 12 to 13. So yeah, you know, this car, it handles amazing. The tires are at all four corners, and I mean, you can really throw this thing into a corner. I mean, it's kind of scary sometimes because you know, once you find out what the car is capable of doing, it's almost to the point where you're like, okay, I'm going too fast into this corner, but I know the car can do it, so let's go. You know, it's it's kind of crazy, and especially if you have somebody with you in the passenger side, they feel like they're probably gonna die if you drive the way you do with just you in the car. So it's pretty crazy, and it definitely builds your driving skills for a front-wheel drive car. Now, driving this car, the Lotus, is much different. You kind of have to set your line going into a corner and then use the gas to put you around the corner. This is a little bit different. And anybody that's into race cars or is familiar with you know, putting a car into a corner fast knows that. But yeah, this thing is a little showstopper. You know, even people that don't like cars, they stop and kind of forget about what they're doing for the split second and observe this little character. And it's just a wonderful little thing to look at, and its history is fantastic, and it's pretty much more British than the flag. So yeah, it's a joy to own. And yeah, if you can own one, if you can get your hands on one, please do, or just get in one, drive one. It's a special experience. And it's crazy because I'm 27 years old, and everybody else that owns these cars, you know, 90% of the people, shoot, they're older. Like, I'm in the Mini Owners Club of Los Angeles. I forgot what it's called, it's too long. Moala. And I do a couple events with them, but I go and I go to their events, and my girlfriend and I, we're the youngest people. Everybody else is in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, probably 80s too. But this is a really cool looking car, and it's got a lot of class. And you can pull up to a bug, and even a split window bug, and this car, it'll steal the show. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my video, and have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.